Thank you very much for joining me. I'm meteorologist Brian Shields, and thank you for all the likes on yesterday's video. I see that. I do appreciate that. All right, let's get to this. Now, we have this area here. We have another one here. Little blob there. We're on the backside of a tropical wave. We've had some rain anywhere from Antigua back through Grenada. We've had some rain, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I'll get into that. But this here, we could see back-to-back storms, potentially back-to-back tropical storms developing right in this area. I often talk about how as you get into the hurricane season, you hear a lot about what the season will be like. Well, kind of need to get there first, and when you get there, you start to see how patterns develop. And we're going to see a consistent pattern right through here that could lead to back-to-back storm systems, and that is a huge issue for flooding, an absolutely huge issue because we've already had the flooding. Now, what's going on here in the Gulf of Mexico and in parts of the Caribbean, a flare-up of rainstorms. This here is potential Cyclone One. They name it that, so to speak. It's just basically a fancy way of saying, hey, this looks like it will be the next named system once it gets better organized. So this here is going to work its way back toward Mexico and Texas. With that said, we're going to see another area do almost the same thing, and I'll show you that in a moment. The immediate concern, though, is some of this heavier rain southeastern sections of Mexico. We've had some flooding now in parts of the Yucatan of Mexico, over toward Belize, of course, over toward Guatemala. There's been some devastation with that. El Salvador, from El Salvador back toward Nicaragua, some pockets of very heavy rain, just a big moisture feed. Now, here's the latest official track on potential Cyclone One. It should become Alberto, and there are tropical storm warnings out as we work our way into northeast Mexico and back through Texas. The hallmark of this system, or the kind of main thing of this system, will be the really heavy rain. Every tropical system has different things. Some are big, some are small, some are more with they deal more with the winds versus the storm surge. This one, it's going to be the rain and the flooding rain with it. Now, as this works its way, this is a different map. I mentioned a few videos ago, the most important thing this hurricane season will be the heat content. That's not just the warm water at the surface. That is warm water that is warm well down deep, because as that just keeps coming up underneath the storm, it just continues to fuel it. And where you see these yellow shadings here, that's where we have high heat content. That's where the water is warm, and the depth of that water, warm water, is substantial. So this area is going to roll right on top of that, an area of high heat content, and that's why it should get better organized before it pumps in to parts of northeast Mexico and South Texas, and then swing in a lot of rain with it. And I'll get into the rain totals in a minute. So let's get into a few things here. Here is the European model. We have this broad spin now, but it should get a little stronger as it passes by that area of high heat content. And you see that flow across the Caribbean into the Gulf of Mexico. Then we have this area out here, just an area of disturbed weather. And the tail end of that front has also kind of been spitting some moisture behind this tropical wave. That's why we had some of that rain over toward Antigua yesterday, and we had some thunderstorms in some spots. We do have a weak tropical wave moving by the eastern Caribbean. Now, as we work our way forward, this here is tomorrow on our Wednesday, in more of a circulation here, a little bit of a tighter circulation, which is telling me that it is getting more organized, and it should become Alberto sometime tomorrow. But all that rain in the green there moving into northeast Mexico and into Texas. High pressure up here, and really everything is just flowing around that area of high pressure. And this could be that pattern we see into the rest of the season, in which not a lot of things can really escape because of that dominant area of high pressure. Also, that reason why that little pocket right there is going to head back toward the southeast U.S., but not seeing organization out of that, but watching that. Then as we go forward here, this here is our Thursday, so this system will be moving in. Now, this system moves in, the high flood potential, southeast Texas, even as far inland over towards San Antonio, where we need rain, but we could get too much in some spots, and then back to the south. So then here's that other area right here, moving toward the southeast U.S. But behind this, you could see here across the Western Caribbean and Central America, once again, another buildup of that moisture that will lead to that flooding in many locations, the runoff, watching the potential for some mudslides And then this here is by Friday, we could get another spin, another storm system, just like the one we have. Back-to-back systems, close in proximity, close in time, that will move in. There's the area of high pressure just kind of filtering everything and bringing that flow through the Caribbean and bringing that moisture back through Central America, and an eventual spin up is possible again, either late week or this upcoming weekend. And you see it right here on the European model. Just like we have now, something may try to develop as we work our way into Saturday. And on top of that, even if it doesn't, either way, we're going to have some heavy rain in some of the spots that are going to get the heavier rain with this new system. So not a good scenario when they follow this closely, just because we're going to have increased flood potential. That will lead to some life-threatening flooding, and that's what I'll watch. So here's that closer look, that feed of moisture from the Caribbean. This here is the American model, and they've been pretty consistent. The models have been generally showing the same thing with this system, a broad spin that may try to spin up a little bit further. But as we work our way into tomorrow, that's when the worst weather will move in, and the rain is the big issue. Southeast Texas and back toward northeast Mexico. That's on top of what we're seeing in parts of Central America, but that's the heaviest weather through starting tomorrow morning, through the day tomorrow, into tomorrow night. You see that rain that will be working in, and on Thursday morning, that rain is going to stretch in. This system will completely change the pattern for Mexico, which has been dealing with a historic drought. You can see even working back inland toward Mexico City, that rain chance is going to be higher, but then we'll be watching out for even more of a flood threat potentially by the time we get into the upcoming weekend with the back-to-back system. So it's a broad spin now. That's just kind of kind of a sloppy system, not super organized. It tries to tighten up a little bit. You see it right through here. The winds won't be the biggest thing with this, but some of the winds have got the scale there. Upwards of about 50 miles per hour, 80 kilometers an hour will be possible. Some of the white showing up, and then that system will move inland, and then still some of the gusty winds in the western Caribbean by Thursday, and that's a piece of the next area that will be following this one. So as far as the rain goes, some of these colors are off my chart. Watching portions of the Yucatan near Belize, not all of us in Belize, but we're going to see some areas of the Yucatan of Mexico, Belize, southeastern sections of Mexico, coastal sections of Guatemala and El Salvador that could get easily upwards of 150 millimeters of rain and higher. That's 6 inches of rain and higher. We could see some spots upwards of 300 millimeters of rain or a foot of some rain. So that is a very high concern. And these are 3-day rain totals. Then we swing back here. This is the rain that's going to work in. Same thing with those totals into northeastern sections of Mexico and southeastern sections of Texas. Very high totals, half a foot to a foot of rain in southeast Texas. We work our way back toward extreme northern and northeastern sections of Mexico. We'll have some spots 150 millimeters of rain or more. So we're looking upwards of 300 millimeters of rain, 6 to 12 inches of rain. And then this weekend, we could be doing the same thing again. So here's the broader picture. Also watching this right there. You see that? That is that other disturbance that is going to slide toward the southeast U.S., not showing signs of organization. There's that huge moisture plume we're seeing, heavy rain at times, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, watching Panama scattered showers. There's that system as we get into Thursday. This is Thursday. It'll get close to the northern Bahamas. We may see some increased rain on Thursday. It's either going to swing up toward the Carolinas or kind of pull back toward Florida and the northern Bahamas, but could see some increased rain. But the Gulf Stream is in here. That's very warm water, so we'll see if it does try to feed off of that and eventually try to spin up. So as far as this area out here, none of the major models, the European, the American, Canadian, and German, none of them are bringing this to tropical storm strength. Occasionally, the American model tries to do that, but go to watch out to see if it does develop. It is an area of interest because that Gulf Stream right there, the water temperatures 84, 85 degrees Fahrenheit, about 29 degrees Celsius. There's a warm pocket here. Western Gulf is definitely primed to help these systems develop, unfortunately, and that's another reason we could see one system after another pulling back into the Western Caribbean, Central America, and into the Western Gulf. Now, the seas are on the high side, meters here, feet right there. You see this orangey shading here. We're looking at about 5 meters here. So as you get over to the scale here, that would be anywhere from about 13 plus feet. And it is going to be choppy. Northern Bahamas, back off the coast of Florida with that tropical disturbance. So this is taking you out in time. This here is tomorrow. Seas will be building 5+ meters right here. Could top about 12, 13 feet just off the coast of Texas in northeast Mexico. So this here is our Wednesday, and even getting choppier, building seas as we get into parts of the central and northern Bahamas. And then this here is by the time we hit Thursday, and then watching the Western Caribbean, we're going to see those seas starting to pick up because we're going to see that similar scenario with that moisture that will be building, and it's going to stay generally rocky in this area. You can see this blob here, Trinidad and Tobago near Barbados. I've been watching that. That blob itself is not organized, but we had a tropical wave move by. This is kind of the backside of it, just flaring up some rain and storms. So yes, some of our islands stay dry, but others, like yesterday, could be dealing with some heavy thunderstorms. Just very unsettled weather for us across the Eastern Caribbean. Guyana, we still have some flooding. We still have some flooding in Suriname. There's that plume of moisture. Now, Jamaica, scattered showers and storms possible. We're on the edge of it. Cayman Islands, we've had a good bit of rain at times. We'll see some more just because of all of this rain nearby. Here's Panama, Costa Rica, Northern Colombia. The rain chance will be higher. This is as we work our way into our Wednesday afternoon. Haiti, the Dominican Republic, and Puerto Rico. It's mainly afternoon storms, but this here is Thursday. You see that surge of moisture starting to lift to the north, and eventually this will roll its way back toward the Gulf of Mexico and the Bay of Campeche, where it could develop into the second system of the season. So the rain totals, this is mainly scattered stuff. Haiti, DR, watching over toward the Bahamas. We're looking at more in the way of some isolated showers and storms, but they could give us some heavier pockets with the daytime heating. Jamaica, scattered showers and storms. If you get some rain, we could see upwards of 50 millimeters plus, some of us getting about an inch of rain in some locations in just the hit or miss variety. Now, where they hit, they could be strong. We could get a couple thunderstorms. Saba, Statia, St. Kitts, Nevis. Hopefully we get a little bit of rain. And there's some of that rain near Trinidad and Tobago. Watching that blob offshore, we could see some spots around 75 millimeters of rain or upwards of 3 inches of rain over the next 3 days. So a big plume of moisture. This area should spin up, and then we'll see that repeat here. There's that front leaving, but leaving some leftover moisture here that will work its way back toward the northern Bahamas, northern U.S., dealing with some of those thunderstorms. So it's just this persistent flow that will be right through here. There's that little area approaching the northern Bahamas as we work our way into our Wednesday afternoon, and still watching the scattered showers and thunderstorms right through the Caribbean. Watch us in Jamaica as we work our way into Friday. We may see some increased rain from the south starting to move in, and then this will kind of pivot over into the Gulf where it could develop into that second system. Not as much Atlantic region of Canada. Yes, chance of some scattered showers, not as unsettled as a week or two ago, but a few systems coming out of Quebec. There's been some bigger storms back to the west over toward the Great Lakes, but they have been generally, the systems have been generally weakening as they've been moving in. So Jamaica, we're looking at a 40 to 50% chance of those scattered showers and storms. Cayman Islands, an elevated 60% chance. We could have flooding. Keep me posted in the comments. Trinidad and Tobago, scattered showers and storms. Watching that blob that is nearby, that could help enhance our chance of some rain. Same thing in Barbados, that rain chance at 50%. Scattered showers and storms possible across St. Lucia. So the elevated chance as expected in the southeastern Caribbean. Grenada, we've already had some rain over the last 24 hours, about a 40% chance for today. Same thing, St. Vincent the Grenadines. The rest of today, still a 50% chance of scattered showers and storms, a 40% chance as we work our way through Martinique, a 50% chance of scattered showers and storms in Dominica, 40 to 50% chance in Guadeloupe, and about a 30 to 40% chance in Antigua and Barbuda. It's hit or miss, but like yesterday, we got hit and we had some heavier storms. 30 to 40% chance St. Kitts, Nevis, and Montserrat, and a 30 to 40% chance Anguilla and St. Bart's. We get towards St. Martin, Saba, and Statia, a little more isolated. Upwards, though, of a 60% chance of scattered rain and storms in Puerto Rico. Not all of us get them, but watching out for some downpours. Same thing, U.S. and British Virgin Islands, a 40% chance. The Bahamas, 30 to 40% chance. chance of some of those spotty showers, and running at about an isolated 30% chance through the Turks and Caicos. Scattered showers and storms mainly late in the day in the Dominican Republic, even back toward Haiti. We could see a few of those storms finding us, especially in our central sections. Belize, watching out for the areas of flooding. Let me know location, what you got going on across Belize. I'll be watching that, of course, throughout the day. Aruba, one of our drier spots, and super hot. Curacao, Bonaire, it just way too hot, which is, I guess, typical this time of year. If we're dry, we're usually hot. Guyana, watching out for those areas of flooding. And that rain chance stays elevated, which is typical for Suriname this time of year. Cuba, watching out for some scattered showers and storms. Western end, a better chance of some rain. Costa Rica, rain chance a little higher. Panama, watching out for some of those scattered showers. And you see that rain chance, it is up in Nicaragua. Not all day, and not all of us get it, but where we do, we need to monitor that flooding in Nicaragua. Same thing in Honduras, just watching out where some of this rain kind of sets up. Parts of Guatemala and El Salvador, we're dealing with some of the flooding, and of course we're thinking of you. Look at Mexico City, the rain chance going up as this tropical system works in. By the time we hit Thursday, there's going to be some rain, and it has been a long time. Yucatan and Mexico, we have been wet. Watching out for the flood potential. 30 to 40% chance, a little uptick in northern Colombia, 30% chance in northern Venezuela, and as we swing back toward Bermuda, we are mainly dry. So it is now super busy, but it's June, and we expect it to be busy. That major flood threat because of the back-to-back systems, or the potential of that, we'll be watching that the next few days. That next spin-up could happen as soon as this weekend, pulling out of the Caribbean, moving into the Gulf, and watching near the Bahamas for that area of some disturbed weather. I'll be watching several areas clearly. So thank you for being part of this weather community. I do it for safety, so thank you for sharing this with others in your community. And please be sure, I'll try to go through the comments. Leave your comments. I'll get to those as we go throughout the day. Please be safe if you're dealing with some of the flooding, and have a good rest of your day.